Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat malam. Apa khabar semua? Malam ini kita akan bercakap ataupun berbincang mengenai Sparthathlon. Okay, thank you very much. Again, we are waiting for viewers. And apa khabar, selamat malam. Terima kasih kerana join Pelari Denai. Dan sebelum itu, seperti biasa, kita akan dengar juga intro ini. Okey, baru-baru ini kita dikejutkan ataupun ada satu event nama dia Sparthathlon, okey. Dan juga kita ada seorang pelari wanita pelari ultra wanita negara iaitu MEI SZE CHONG telah menamatkan larian tersebut. So kita nak tahu dan juga nak dengar cerita pencapaian dia terutama masa zaman pandemik inilah. So untuk tidak melengahkan lagi, kita akan bercerita tentang apa itu Sparthathlon. Okay? Sambil tu, ini merupakan baju terbaru Pelari Denai, color kuning, warna kuning. So on sale sekarang di Shopee. Okay, tanpa berlengah lagi, kita akan menjemput first ataupun kita punya panel pertama. Okay, we're going to invite our first panelist, which is our legend and none other than, you guys know best, Mr. Sikong. Hi, Mr. Sikong.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, Ismail.
Good evening. Oh yeah, I miss you, Mr. Sikong. So long, I haven't seen you in events.
Wow, it's good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I miss everyone too.
Yeah, see, even I gained some weight right now. Oh yeah, really miss your events.
Yeah. Yes, good. I think we'll see each other very soon.
Yes. So, Mr. Sikong, how's things? How are you these days? I mean, what have you been doing? We know that most of events cannot go through. So, tell us more about what you have been doing lately.
Well, firstly, I'm busy writing my books, which I have finished the English edition, and I'm still translating it into Chinese. Wow. So I'm talking to the publisher these days. So it should come out sometime next year, early next year.
Wow, and can't wait.
And as far as running is concerned, I'm keeping myself well conditioned. Doing cycling, hiking, and a bit of running here and there, just to be ready for the tour of Peninsula in December.
Cool.
So where we will run around Peninsula Malaysia in 31 days, 2,100 kilometers. So I hope I'll be ready.
Wow.
So that's basically what I've been doing.
Okay.
And so we are looking forward to the government's announcement.
Yes.
For us to be able to cross state.
Yes, we can't wait for that. Okay. Anyway, in the meantime, Mr. Sikong, we know about previously we have MEI SZE who finished Sparthathlon, right? You also have entered Sparthathlon. I think you are the first, if I'm not mistaken. Is it person or you have entered like earlier, right? In Sparthathlon, this event. Can you tell us more about what is Sparthathlon and how does it? How does it inspire you to join in the first place?
Yeah, I didn't know about Sparthathlon until I finished this race in Australia. It's called the Coast to Kosciuszko in 2010. So this is a 240-kilometer race. And one of the participants, talk about Spartathlon after that, and then he was planning to do the backwater. And then he said, okay, he has done the backwater after that, and then he asked me whether I would like to do the Spartathlon or not. I mean, at that time, I did not know about Spartathlon, And then I did a bit of investigation, and then I found out that, hey, I qualified, I could run Spartathlon because I finished a 240-kilometer race in Australia. So that's when I say, okay, I entered. But he did warn me that, you need to be fast enough. You need to be fast enough. Yeah. So, because the cutoff here is very tight. Yeah. In 36 hours, you got to finish 246 kilometers. And then you dig out the history, then you find out that, okay, somebody, I think in the 1980 or something, that started to say, okay, I mean, like the British, I think I can remember two of them are called David, So they try out, whether they can, how long it would take, to run from Athens to Sparta.
Oh.
So, and then they finished the run. I think two of them at least finished the run, or the other one also finished, but the time is not as good. Yeah. So that's when the legend started. When I ran, I think it was the 20th anniversary. I think it was the 20th anniversary of the run.
Wow.
Already. So, but unfortunately, it was a shock to me at that time that you have to run that fast.
How fast is that?
First 80 kilometers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's really fast, and it's not, you cannot take your sweet time.
No. Which at that time my focus was on trail. So I did not do much road work. If you read my race report on that, I did not do much road work. So I wasn't fast enough, and I wasn't conditioned enough. So I did not finish. So I tried again in the following year, and also the next year, and every time, in 2013, my focus was on backwater, and then later on UTMB, and then 3 races, big races they were all very close together, 1 month after each other. Yeah.
Wow.
So all these big races, I wasn't ready as well. Compared to what the others, people who are smarter, like David and Chong Hao and MEI SZE, they are very focused, and they have been training for, and they are very fast as well, of course, very gifted. So I think that was my mistake here, that I had never been focused and disciplined enough to train for it. Yeah. So I lacked the speed. Yeah. For a long time, I just wanted to finish my race, and that's all. So, but to do Spartathlon, you cannot take that approach. Yeah.
But Mr. Sikong, we know that Spartathlon is the range is 246 kilometers, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
how about the elevations? Is it that hard, or is it that tough? What does the condition or the challenges, example, the weather?
Yeah, well, I mean, I have never got to the hills when I ran, and then but for if you ask me, the elevation, it should be okay. Most of the road runners, can handle that. A lot of the fast Spartathlon runners, they are not trail runners. Yeah, for us who are used to the trail, who are used to high elevation, we are okay. Yeah, so that is not so much of a problem. Yeah. There was one big hill in the middle of the night when it's very cold. You need to wear more, and all that thing. I think David, 3 of them, the finisher, then can share more with you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, but the key is, I'm kind of like more on the average speed, that kind of pace. So I could finish Sakuramichi 250K in 35 hours plus, but that one, the cutoff is not as tight, so it's even out.
I see. Like you have entered. You have tried like 2 or 3 years, right, Mr. Ziko?
For 4 years altogether. I still have 1 year to go if I want.
Wow.
But I really need to train very hard.
Okay.
I think you are allowed 5 times to attempt it. Before they will say, sorry, no more chance for you. So I still have to go for one more time, but I need to run a qualifying time,
I
a qualifying
see.
race. Yeah.
Oh, okay. UM24 will be on schedule this year. Santi is asking. Our friend from Indonesia, Santi.
Oh, should I answer that?
No. No,
Yeah, it's not
actually.
related to. It's not
Well,
related to.
actually,
A
the
lot. I
topic.
think some people want to know the what are the qualifying races for
Yes.
for Sparthathlon, and I can tell it's probably a bit relevant too, but probably not the right time. But UM24, I think a few of like MEI SZE also got qualifying.
Uh-huh.
This is a qualifying race for her for Spartathlon. And also TT Ultra, 200K, 250K, you can use that as a qualifying race as well. Yeah,
Okay. But
for
my question,
Spartathlon.
Mr. Isiko, how can you know that that race is qualified for Spartathlon? I mean, any races that 200 above, is it?
As long as it's an official race, yeah, it doesn't
Uh-huh.
need to be certified by IAU. As long as it is an official race, and then you can show your result. They can find your results on the official link, the race link. Then it's okay. And then they actually specify that you need to do like 100K, in how many hours, 200K in how many hours, or how many kilometer in 24 hours, and that kind of thing. It's all in the website. So there are various criteria. As long as you meet those criteria, then you are qualified.
I see. All right. We have also another panelist, which I think none other than you know him. So we're going to invite none other than our previous panelist also, David. Hi,
Hi,
David.
Yeah,
hi, good.
David is a champion of our many of our races in Malaysia. So
Right.
yeah, hi David.
So, David, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Good to see you guys again after the
Good to
last.
see you. Yes. And then, can we see your T-shirt, the ones that you're wearing right now?
Oh yeah, this is the Malaysian Spartathlon team shirt.
Oh, okay. How do you qualify to get that? I mean, how can I get that?
No, the sponsor is Ultron. So Jeff Oy, he coordinates for us. So he coordinated the t-shirts from 2018 onwards.
I see.
Every
All right.
year there's a new shirt out.
So I was talking to Mr. Sikon just now about Spartathlon, the ones that he joined and stuff, right? So, like for you, right? How many times did you enter Spartathlon, and what is the race to you? The meaning of the race to you? I mean, how is it significant? I mean, is it why you want to take that race? You know?
I knew about the race quite late in my running journey, maybe in 2016 or something. I heard it from some other more experienced runners. They were talking about it, the qualification, uh, and then and then I did a qualifier in early 2017, 24H. It was a 24-hour race. So from that, I qualified into the 2017 Spartathlon. So my journey to get in was quite quick. From the time my first attempt to qualify, I was lucky enough to qualify. And then in that first year, I put my name to register. I was the only applicant, so my chances were 100%. If you're the only applicant from your host country, from that
Uh huh.
country qualified, you will 100% get in. That's
I
part of the.
see. So meaning the smaller chance. I mean, the smaller the people who entered, the higher chances you go there lah.
Not exactly lah. I mean, if there's only one from your country, you are 100% 100% going to get in because they want more people from around the world. They want to have a global feel. So if your country has only one applicant, 100% he'll get in. If your country has two applicants, Most likely you'll get one in. If you're very, very, very lucky and the lottery is very favorable, you might get two inside.
Okay, I have a question, right? I mean, if let's say during the qualifiers, right? If you are Malaysian staying outside the country, I mean, like overseas, how does it valid? I mean, how do you count that?
They will consider you a Malaysian. It's I think your citizenship. You apply to your citizenship.
I see.
Yeah, I know there's some other runners who have two citizenships. I think like a British and a Greek person. So he just chose. I met him before. He just chose to apply as a Greek. So that is the only case where you can actually choose which country you want to apply for. You better choose the smaller country in that case, lah. The country with the lesser number of applicants.
Okay.
But it won't apply first, lah, because Malaysia, I think you only get one citizenship. I don't think we have dual citizenship. So it wouldn't apply in our case. So, but if you live overseas, you have to apply as a Malaysian.
I see.
You can't, just pick your country of residence. You have to pick your citizenship.
Like for you, right? What races that you qualified for Spartathlon? Which races that you qualified for Spartathlon? In your case,
just one. In January 2017, I did a race 24H. That was in Serdang, I think. I don't know where it was. Mardi. It's a 24-hour time race. So that's how I qualified. And the minimum to qualify for men is 180 kilometers.
180
kilometers in 24 hours. It's 170 for a woman.
Oh, so there's a difference there.
Yeah, it's a slight difference. Yeah,
I see.
Actually, the main ways to qualify, the main distances, the main standard distances now is a 12-hour race. You have to run 120 kilometers for men, 110 kilometers for women.
Wow.
And then for a 24-hour race, 180 for men, 170 for women.
Like, okay, what the same question that I asked Mr. Sikong, like what are the challenges, or like what are the, when you, for you yourself, right? You have been running ultra, and you've been running roads and stuff. Is that an advantage for you, or does that help you finishing the Spartathlon for the first time?
Yeah, it helps a lot. Being a road runner, I mean, it's a road race, so it helps the more familiar you are with roads. Because to qualify, it's very hard to qualify if you run a 12-hour trail event or a 100-mile trail event, because it's just hard. They don't care about your elevation gain and your difficulty. They only care about your height. So the flatter, the colder, the faster the course is, it's easier to get in. And Spartathlon is a road race. It's not crazy, the elevation gain and all. It's I think 1,200 meters. 1,200 meters over 246 kilometers is not a big deal. It's not as difficult as TT 100, TT 200. I think it's about half. It's less than half of TT 200. Yeah, TT 200 I think about 3,000. Yeah, so it's
I have a question, David. Like YK is saying that David hate trails anyway. Is that true? Tell me something. Do you like trails? I mean, have you run trails before? Or maybe Mr. Sikong, you should enroll him into one of your events.
I think he did finish the Penang Eco 100 miles, right? I remember. But then since then, after that, he retired.
Yeah, true. That's my last trail race. 100 miles.
Okay, so meaning you know that you can run trails for 100 miles. That's it.
Yeah, just the one time. That's my bucket list.
Wow. Okay.
Walking, hiking is okay, and casual suntai is okay, but racing on the trail is too difficult for me, lah. My footing is very poor. I'll just hurt myself, lah.
Yeah, it's a bit painful.
Anyway, just to ask you guys, right? During your Spartathlon races, right? This might be a question from some of the viewers. Like, what are the what we know the qualifying, we know that what you need to do, training, all this stuff, right? How about the journey there? I mean, like in financially and also mentally, how do you guys prepare the journey to Spartathlon? Once you know that you are, I mean, you qualified for the race. How do you guys prepare that? I mean, this is for both of you, Mr. Sikong and also David. What do you prepare, like financially, mentally, and during those Spartathlon races? Like, let's say you studied or something like that.
Okay. I think David would agree too. As far as financially, this Spartathlon is relatively compared to other races, is really not that expensive. Yeah, to
Oh,
European
really?
races, and then it comes with a package. Yeah, that includes the accommodation, and the meals
Wow.
as well. So everything is arranged. Yeah, so it makes it very convenient. So you only need to pay up, and then fly yourself there. And everything else will be taken care of from the day one to the final day, including your dinner. So it is very nice. Yeah, so it's quite a worry free, that kind of arrangement. So you only need to
So
do your
meaning,
training.
so meaning all the accommodation towards the race is all smooth.
Yeah, yeah, they arrange for you.
Nice.
Yes, there's so many hotels around that headquarters. Depend on which one they use. It's a London hotel that you use. The London hotel
Wow.
has always been the headquarters. I mean, like the main hotel. Yeah, but okay, maybe David can share his experience. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the fee is when I joined it was less than 600 euros, and that includes I think it's a 4 or 5 nights hotel,
Yeah.
3 or 4 star hotel. It's comfortable.
Mm.
All the nights in Athens and then one in Sparta, all at the start venue, and then there's one at the finish venue.
Yeah.
So that once you factor in the accommodations in a hotel, it's actually a very, very affordable race. And part of the
Yes.
reason it's so affordable is because the Greek tourist board, the Greek government, they give a lot of support to the race. So I suspect it's heavily subsidized.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you
Uh,
picture
how
like
how
600.
how how many hours is the trip?
Even what the flight?
The trip to Greece, how many hours?
I don't know, 12. I don't know. The flight, I'm not
Wow.
too sure. 12 was, I don't know. I can't remember. Macy will know.
But basically, you can say that during your trip and also during your races, everything is fully smooth, so
Yeah.
no need to worries and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually, once you pay the entry fee, which is about less than 600 euro when I did it, you
I
only need to
see.
pay for your flight because your food accommodations is completely covered. Your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner is fully covered.
Mm.
Yeah, so once you just need to pay for your flight and reach your hotel, your designated hotel.
Yeah.
I see.
It's very
Right.
comfortable. You don't have to actually figure out too many things. It's very quite convenient and easy.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay, so we're going to share. This is a photo. If you guys can see, this is Mr. Sikong last time. When was this, Mr. Sikong? This photo was
Yeah.
taken.
After DNFing I think the following morning I just went there to check out the flag, and it's there,
Ah,
Malaysian
nice.
flag. Yeah.
Okay. And it was sunny day. All the weather is good lah around there during that time. I mean, uh, because I mean I don't know how this running scene over there in Greece.
Yeah, this for me, um, I find the Mediterranean climate is a bit too dry. Yeah, and then you work out, you sweat out, and I often get cramp. Yeah,
Oh,
I think 2 or 3 times the cramp, and then I vomited. In 2 of the years or 3 of the years, I just had that problem. Yeah. I don't know why. It's I find the climate is very exposed. Huh? you get the sun and all that thing. I wasn't used to it, and that's how badly it affected me.
I see. All right. And then we have another picture of this guy. So tell us about this photo. I mean, David.
Yeah, this is the finish line, a few meters away from the end. I was so pumped up, so energized. I think the last kilometer I ran really fast. It was really, I had so much of adrenaline.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is just after crossing the finish line. This is quite a customary thing that people do. They kiss the feet of the king.
Uh-huh. So this is like towards the end. This is during the race, right?
Yeah, this is the first 100 kilometers. This is actually the behind on the background. It's one of those ancient BC sites. It's one of the UNESCO kind of sites. Yeah,
Oh,
this
the wonders of the world.
5th century BC or something. And this is
Nice.
the canal. It's a very famous canal. Yeah, it's quite a cool spot. This is the ocean. I think it's an ocean that we cross. It's about 80 kilometers. This is one of the most beautiful sites. This is something I love so much. When I ran, I don't know about this year with the COVID, but we passed by some school areas. So the school
Uh-huh.
kids will be let off. So actually, the class will be going on in school, but since the teacher know about the race, they release the students to come and say hello to the runners. Yeah.
All right. So in the meantime, we have, I think, okay. So in the meantime, we have another panelist that I'm going to bring in, okay, which is I know that you guys know him also. So we would like to welcome Chong Hao. Hello.
Hey, hello, hello,
Hi, how
hello,
are you?
hello.
So, Chong Hao, we know that we have our two gentlemen here who's joined also Spartathlon, right? Tell us about your experience. What year did you join, and then what makes you join? Is it you inspired by them or what? I mean, how do you start
Okay.
doing the Spartathlon?
I joined at year 2018, and then how I know this Spartathlon race is from a book that Reichi Sukiya, the Japanese ultramarathoner. Yeah, and then from inside the book, I know this race, so I go to Google and check out this race, and that crazy qualification make me want to challenge it. Yes. So I get my qualified at 2017 UN 24. So chase this Spartathlon qualifying almost 2 years. Yeah.
Okay, so these are the pictures that you run. You run in the what condition? Is it raining this at this
Yes.
time? Is it?
Hurricane.
Oh,
Hurricane. The wind speed crazy. And then this year is I think is the only year Spartathlon met the natural disaster. Yeah,
wow.
yeah. At the last 21 kilometer, the last half marathon distance, we also met the cyclone Zobas. Yeah.
So these are the challenges that you face during your race.
Uh, my English not so good.
It's okay. We have Mr. Sikong and also David. No problem. Anyway, David, how many people that you know that have joined Spartathlon? I mean, Mr. Sikong also. If you have in mind lah, like how many Malaysians that have joined Spartathlon in total?
4, 1, 2, 3, and
Oh,
base.
it's only us here, and then the latest one is of course is Malaysia. Jeff is yet to go
Oh,
yet, huh?
Yeah, that's all. Only 4.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So the race is so unique until that not everyone can qualify. I mean, It's like a, see, even Eric say, wow, all legends, see?
Because
Eric is
we
saying here.
ultra running, we are late starter really. Compared to other countries like Taiwan, Japan, they have known about this race a long time ago. Yeah, so they have a
So,
big contingent going there year after year. Yeah,
oh,
for
we
us,
started late then.
we are a bit late, but it's okay.
Okay. So
We'll have
anyway,
more. We'll have more in future. Yeah.
yes. So that's why now we would like to call our main event or the main person for tonight, which is none other than our one and only Izzy.
Hello.
Hi, how are
Hi.
you?
Hello, Pelari. Thanks for having me. And all my
Hi.
seafoods are here. Seafoods.
So anyway, we would like to say congratulations on behalf of Pelari and I would like to say congratulations to you for winning, for finishing the Spartathlon this year.
Thank you. Thank you. I was so lucky to finish. Really so lucky. I found it very tough.
Okay, so before that, Daisy, can you just give a quick introduction about you and the race itself?
Yeah. How did I actually come to know about Spartathlon was actually not by reading Chong Hao's book, but I got to know Chong Hao. He was a 4-hour pacer, I think in Twin City FM. That was 2019. So it was, I think, January 2019. And he said, you can try out Spartathlon. It was really something like that. And then as we went towards the middle of the year, he said, oh, there's UM24 coming up to qualify. So I tried for that, and the qualifying standards for a woman is 180 km in 24 hours. 170 km in 24 hours, and for a man, 170. So we managed to qualify with 191 km at UM24, and that only allows you to go for the ballots. So you would be put into the ballot with other Malaysians who qualify, and then the organizing committee would, in the end, decide who goes for it.
Wow, interesting.
Mm.
So again, tell us like what is your timing, and then what's the winner's timing is what? I can't remember the first.
Well, this
first guy,
year's
yeah.
winner was really spectacular because his timing is actually the fifth fastest, I think, in the history of Spartathlon. So, and he's also a Greek guy, and I think he actually works with the Greek police force. So it's actually one of their own people taking home the title. So the atmosphere was really good. I don't think they had a Greek winner for many years since they had that famous Yanis Cruz winning,
Yes.
I think 4 times. But I think they were all in the 1980s when he was actively running. And then subsequently, it was a lot of other winners from other countries.
Wow. Okay,
Yes.
it's very interesting. Okay, how about your timing? What's your timing again?
I think it was, oh dear, that was a difficult question. I think it's 34 hours and 50 something. The last thing on my mind was actually not the timing. It was just that I could finish this race so that I could sleep. I was very tired. And people were asking me, the 1 or 2 days before, what is Chong Hao's timing? What is David's timing? I said, I don't know. I'm just trying to sleep and rest.
Because that's also the same thing that I heard from a few people say that, oh really, you your timing is like that. I was like, wow, it's really interesting. Okay.
Yeah, thank God I actually finished within that 36 hours because we went in with with Malaysians not really having proper training. So and then I got the notice a bit short. So that's why I actually stopped training at some point, and then I did some last minute intensive training the few weeks before I flew off. So actually, I was very lucky to finich. Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps, MEI SZE, can I ask you about if you were to do this race again, would you pace it differently because you were really going very fast?
Yeah, actually, Telkom, that was a
Initially,
gamble. That was a gamble. The traditional wisdom is that you pace yourself properly. You maintain a pace that is quite steady from start to finish so that you don't tend to bonk at any one point. But as I was going through and understanding, studying the Spartathlon race, you find that the first 100 km, 122, 140 is actually quite tight. So basically, for people who are speedsters in half marathons and full marathons, you may not understand this is an ultra race, but 100 km in 12 hours, 25 minutes. And I think the 122 km in about 14 hour, 45 minutes or something like that is actually quite tight. And I wasn't sure whether, because my recent training, I did not even reach 100 km, at any one point. I stopped usually between 60 to 80 because I did not want to risk injury in the few weeks just before Spartathlon. So I wasn't even sure whether I could make that timing. And if I don't make that timing, forget about trying to reach 180, 200, 220. So that's why I took a gamble. There were 3 sections, 82 km, 82 km, 82 km, mixed 246. The first 82 km is actually pretty fast. The next 82 km, you're going on a gradual, slow climb towards a steeper climb towards the mountain at 160 km. And then the last 80 km, somewhat downhill and flat again. So I envisioned, based on my lack of training and, how many Malaysians got to go out to do some climbs up hills and mountains throughout the 1 year plus. So I needed a bit more buffer for the second 82 km. And that's why I pushed in the first 100, 120 so that I had a bit more time for that middle segment. So that was my strategy.
and it worked.
Luckily it worked.
Wow.
Yeah, luckily it worked. And then in the third 82, we all know from reading the COT that it's just a bit looser. It's not even to say loose, just a bit looser. So that I could take a risk. But I cannot take a risk to, have a higher risk of DNF in the first or the second 82 segments. Yeah.
So the graph that I'm showing right now, is this the graph for is it the elevation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Tell us more
Actually,
about this.
is very simplified. There's hardly any real flat segments that are quite long that I can remember. It's a lot of slopes, up slopes, down slopes, hills that is not really seen on this graph. This is hugely simplified. Sorry.
Wow. This is simplified. Not for me lah. Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Actually, most of the course is like running in Putrajaya or something. It's just like rolling hills, like TT or something. It just goes up, it goes waving up and down. It's nowhere near as difficult as this looks. This looks very challenging, but it's actually not as steep as this. Except for when you're going up the mountain at 100 miles. That is, of course, steep.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's rolling from start to finish.
It's like mild rolling. It's not even very difficult. If you have the energy, you can actually run almost the whole course.
Yes. Yeah, the surface is mainly actually I found it really hard, unyielding road. Like some tarmac, maybe there's a bit some I don't know, some soft rubber feel. But this was a lot of the old ancient roads, rock hard.
Oh,
So some are
it's not
a bit
like the Malaysian tarmac lah, not like the one that we have.
It used to be there's a bit more give, but like the pavements and some of these cobbled roads, it's almost like marble and slippery. So you're just running, and I think the first 100 you're running with quite heavy traffic, and it gets lighter as you move further inwards. So a lot of times I was actually jumping up and down the pavement. I was trying to move away from the traffic because the cars are going really fast. So I actually found the impact. I felt the impact, I think, already at the first FM, where I made a remark on the video. The roads here are really tough.
Oh yeah. So actually, we have a video of you, but this is let's see the video. This video. So describe how do you feel during the finishing line?
Huge relief. Huge relief. Because from KM0 up until I think there was about 14, 15, 16 km left, my constant thought was just don't DNF. I could possibly DNF. It was only in the last about 15 km that I started feeling, oh, I think we can finish. I think we have a finisher here. Before that, I was so worried I could DNF. It's tough. It was very tough because I did not anticipate that I would actually feel so much pain so early onward. I think before the halfway point. And I'm sure I was running at least the second half in a very awkward posture from the pain.
Wow.
From both legs. Yeah, so I was running with abnormal postures, and I think that really tired me. Yeah, that was not fun.
Wow, that was epic. I mean, it's good to see that we can see the video. See, even Eric said this video is so emotional, makes us wanna cry.
Except I was too dry. As Xiao Kong said, the Mediterranean weather, is so dry. I didn't expect that. No one mentioned it. David, this was not in your race report. Already at I think KM 20 plus, very early on, I started rubbing my eyes, and there was no tears, no sweat,
Whoa.
nothing. It was all dry, and it was just sand because we were in very open areas, and we were starting to move away from the city towards the sea and then towards inland. And so the areas are all open, and you can see the very rocky mountains, and there's the blue sea on the other side. So the winds were just going woo, 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 woo. And I said, this is so early. I haven't even gone up the mountain. Why is it so windy in Greece?
Okay,
It was very dry.
we have a question from Andy here. Every year the race course is the same, is it?
Yes.
Yes, it is the same. Yeah.
So the difference would be like weather, all this kind of stuff lah. Like other than that, should be the same thing lah. What does it make it so tough? I mean, is it because of the location or what?
Who's going to take it? Me?
Yeah, anyone.
Okay, me first. Actually, I found this really tough. It's possibly because we've had over a year of COVID restrictions where a lot of us could not train properly. I mean, you could train quite well for shorter distances, like maybe your 10 km, the speed runs. So maybe the FMs, even up to 100 km, I think you could train quite well. But beyond that, you're trying to extrapolate your training to 246. And then, as you know, my background is usually the 100 km in 2019. So all the races that I planned, which were the 100 milers, the 48 hours to train up for Sparthathlon, were all gone. They were wiped. So for me, it was a bit more of an imaginary task to try to make sure that I could finish a 246 from mainly 100 km background and limited outdoor training. The route is long. It's 246 km. I think otherwise for all our panelists here, the elevation is not a problem. It's just a matter of adapting to the weather. The weather was very different for each of our years, as you can see. It was I'm not sure about Xiao Kong's year, but for David, he says in his report, which I read a few times, that it was quite nice. He even threw away his hat. And then suddenly you have Typhoon Zorba in Chong Hao's year. So when it came to, and then 2019, which there was no Malaysian participant, it was very hot. So I think that affected the results. I think it wasn't even one of the fast champions timings. And then for 2020, they said it was should be quite nice, at least on the first day. On the second day, it gets hotter. But as I was trying to go through from 2 p.m., 3 p.m. up to 5, 6, 7 p.m., I didn't know when it would get cold. So my decision was to just carry everything in my hydration vest. So that was how I proceeded with it.
I see. How about you, David?
For me, the biggest difficulty, as she mentioned, it's actually just for me the distance, the 246. That is like 6 marathons almost. That is the hardest part. Just the pounding on your leg, on the tarmac, on the hard surface, and the fact that you have no time to take a break, a quick nap, a reset. You don't have any opportunity for that. Other difficulty is, of course, at 3 or 4 in the morning, I'll get sleepy. Everybody gets sleepy. So you just have to go through a few windows of sleepiness. But I think for
How
most
about
people, the most difficult aspect for most people will be the
huh?
fast speed at the start. Because at the start of the race, the
Oh,
cutoffs are very tight.
I
Like a
see.
marathon in 4 hours 45, 80K in 9.5 hours, 100K in 12 hours and 25 minutes. So, for example,
Wow.
100K in 12 hours and 25 minutes, it's almost a podium time in Malaysia. In Malaysia, that's a podium finisher time. That's why it's
Wow.
very hard, the pace at the start.
I see. So once you finish like the first in the beginning, then should be smooth sailing lah after that.
First 80K is very fast, and then after that it slows down, and then it's up to your endurance and your injury prevention and your ankle injury. Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
How about you, Mr. Sukong? I mean, what can you conclude on the races that you have joined, right? Like a few times. Is it like what David saying?
Yeah, I have run like 6 or 7 or 200 or 7 or 8, 200 more than 200K races, and this one is the toughest for me. And as exactly as David said, the cutoff is very tight at the beginning, and that's one thing. And you need to really, when I trained, I was trying to go like one of the advice is to, when you train, you try to go at 10K an hour, that kind of pace, and push yourself to see how far you can go. Yeah, that was how I was trying to train when I ran the Jeju 200K. So I was trying to pushing myself to go at 10K an hour, 10K an hour, and see how far I can go. That's one of my friends who have finished a few times Sparthathlon. That's his advice. Then the second thing that affected me was the climate, and I always have this cramp, and after the marathon, and then after that I have this cramp, and then I vomited, I threw up, and all that thing. Then I slowed down dramatically. Yeah. So that really affected me much. I find it very hard to adjust to the Mediterranean climate. Yeah. It's so dry,
Wow.
and then I
So
always
do you
struggle with
guys
that part.
still need to acclimatize? Meaning you go there like a few days to acclimatize, is it?
Yeah. I mean, to the point, there was one year I was so disappointed. I think the second year I said, I'm going to go to Athens, to Greece, and stay there for 3 months, and then I'm going to
Oh,
train like hell and that kind of thing. Of course, that never happened. I thought I just need to get used to the climate. Yeah.
I see. How about you, Chung Hao? What is the challenges that you during your race? Your race, we know that it's raining and stuff, right? Like, are you prepared during the races? Like, whatever comes, okay lah. Wait, I think you're muted. Okay, there you go.
No?
We cannot hear you, Chung Hao. I think you are muted.
Ah,
Hello, hello.
Okay. Okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yes. The first 100K is need very fast speed, but this 100K for me is the most relaxed because of the 100K, the weather all that change. Yeah. So um, for me lah, just the 100K is easier than behind. Yeah.
Chong how do you
Right.
you weren't prepared for the hurricane? How do you get a rain jacket?
Huh? What?
How do you get a rain jacket if you weren't prepared for the hurricane?
From Evan. Evan helped me find my support crew. My support crew, Evan and Karen. They go together with me. So um, at the midnight, Evan helped me find the raincoat. Yeah, this one, this inside 5 shirt,
Really fashion.
2 raincoat, and 1 windbreaker, and 2 t-shirt. I think 2 t-shirt. Yeah,
Wow.
it's very cold. This is morning. The temperature I think is only three.
Wow. 3.
Yeah, and then the wind, the hurricane hit with rain hit on my face is pain.
Wow.
Wow. I
Huh,
think we have
yeah.
I think we have this video here, right?
This is when the last 21 kilometer the cyclone Jobas,
Wow.
the most heavier and most dangerous part. When this time I was at the open space, and on top of me the sky is full of rubbish, rubbish bin, metal
Whoa.
plate, uh, broken wood, all that flying
All
around,
flying away.
spinning.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
I think yours is the most challenges, the most challenge of all.
I don't know. Maybe Xiaokong, my seafood Xiaokong here also not so easy because I heard people say temperature is more higher than 40, right? So
The 2012 is, I think, the hottest in the history. That was the first year that I joined. Yeah, so DNF rate for
Oh,
that year was very high.
I see.
yeah.
But it's quite bad, meaning the weather can be anything. Like you have to be prepared, lah.
Mm.
I don't know how.
When that time the cyclone Zobas come,
Huh?
I only have 3 seconds to think either stop or run. So either move forward or DNF, but my choice didn't have the DNF because I have preparing for so far and I waste too much money. So the only choice is either finisher or die.
Oh,
Yeah, really.
Somehow, do you have a weather
I'm glad you are
forecast?
alive today.
Yeah. And also my crew, they're also not they're also not easy because Evan and Karen also very scared. They're inside car like that. Evan driving that car Toyota Prius, but cannot drive safely. Cannot drive. Just like just kena the cyclone hit and the car is non-stop moving. Ha. Yeah. So Evan and Karen also asking each other, do we die at Greece?
Somehow, when did you know the cyclone is coming? How
I
many?
don't know. I
For
don't
the
know.
race or after the race start or any forecast? Any weather forecast?
We don't know. We don't know at all. So until midnight, the rain is non-stop, and then midnight that hurricane hit. I was thinking why my Sparthathlon so hard. Then end up, cyclone come. Oh my God.
Even during the safety briefing, they didn't mention. There's no during the safety briefing the day before the safety briefing.
I don't think they know.
Oh,
Just like suddenly hit. I don't think they know.
okay.
wow. But
they
it's a good
they
thing, lah. I mean, during the race only you guys notice it, lah. I mean, the weather is bad, lah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So at the end, I saw a lot the crew, the Spartathlon crew. They're driving the 4-wheel drive car, higher car. So they middle of the road, they help runner block the wind, the cyclone, the wind blow.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. So I have a question. So like what are they serving you guys during the water station or checkpoint? Like in this picture, right? Just normal water, is it?
This one maybe you need to ask David and
Uh,
Maisie because my water from support crew.
Oh, so meaning they allow also support crew to be there.
Yes, every for the first major checkpoint
Okay.
is 42 kilometer and the second one is 80 kilometer, and then after that every 10 kilometer have one major checkpoint. Yes. So between the major checkpoint, yes, got mineral water and Coca-Cola also.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, the checkpoints are quite simple, adequate. They have Coke and water and sparkling water and a few fruit options.
I see.
So I survived on the checkpoint food from the start to the end. It's not so bad, lah. I mean, it's fine, lah. It's yeah, all you need actually.
Okay,
Towards the
that's
later
interesting.
part of the race, towards
Like
the end, you get soup. Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's quite interesting lah. Like for all of you, right? Between you guys, right? Because we know that there are not many Malaysian went for Spartathlon. So rather than like Maisie reading David's race report, do you guys like communicate before entering Spartathlon race? I mean,
Yeah,
like
depends.
gather or like you guys have the shit already, right? Maybe you guys have like a hangout session together, talk about it. Any one of you guys can answer this.
I can start lah. Kong has no mentor before him, but I asked him a lot of questions. So before I went, he was a very big help for me in 2017. I asked many questions about the heat, about the pace and everything. So he helped me a lot. And then I think everything trickled down. So even Chong Hao, he met up before his race, a month before his race, and I told him what I knew and whatever advice I have. Yeah.
Okay. How about Chung Hao?
Yes.
Who inspires you, or did you communicate with anyone before you go? Like,
Yes.
and you ask for tips.
Jeff Oi and Sifu Xiaokong and also my senior David Christopher that they give me a lot of tips about the route or the skill.
Oh,
Yeah.
because now I notice it's like MLM, like one get this from this guy, this guy get tip from this guy, like May get from you, like all interrelated. So I think it's a good thing lah. I mean, we know that you
Yeah.
guys are communicating, and even this morning, right? I meet up with Jeff Uy. He even said the same thing also lah. I mean, he communicates with David, I think, most of the time. So David, there is 1 year that both of you guys did not join. I mean, none of the Malaysian joined. Which year is that?
I believe that was 2019. Just by coincidence, I think there were a few Malaysians who were qualified. I was qualified. Jeff was qualified. Maybe one or two other people. But Jeff was starting a family, and I had some work thing or some other running thing. So that was actually a wasted opportunity. Because we could have gone in because we didn't have to worry about the lottery. And then, like the latest edition, the 2020 edition, the COVID year edition, I think there were at least 3 applicants. It was Macy and Allison and Jeff, and we only got one person in. So the previous year we messed it up. We should have actually applied and get one more Malaysian in 2019. So now it only gets more difficult actually. Like we have more good runners, we have more interest, we have more demand to get in. So the next year will be another lottery again, I'm sure.
Okay, I was talking to Jeff this morning. Maybe Maisie or any one of you guys can answer this. He said about the license. The license, like they have to. I mean, you have to renew back the license. I mean, what does that mean? Can you guys tell me about that?
Basically, it's just what we mentioned earlier about the requirements that you need to fulfill. So, for example, last time they used to have requirements for 100 km, but they recently decided 100 km race qualification is not a good predictor of finishing at 2:46. So, for example, so that 24 hours where you need to achieve 170 km for women or 180 km for men. So the moment you qualify for that, for example, in 2019 UM24 event, for example, that allows you 2 years expiry to ballot for Spartathlon. So means
there is an expiry.
yeah.
There is an
So
expiry
means your
date. Wow.
2019 results can only last you 2 years. After which, if you don't have any other more recent results, you need to do another race. So which brings us to a recent issue now because of COVID-19 and lack of races in Malaysia. People who could be interested in running the 2022 edition, but with no previous qualifying races, they may have to wait out again until you have a race in Malaysia where they can attend.
Oh, so another question for all of you. Will any one of you guys race 2022 then? like ready for it? Like, you know, I'm going to sign up.
Is it
David.
Christopher?
Just to add to Macy's answer for the audience who want to do the race. For the next race, your qualification must be done between 2020 and February of 2022.
Oh,
February of 2022. So we have had COVID the whole time. So there's only 3 months in 2020, January, February, and March until our MCO started.
yeah.
And then besides that, from today until February of next year.
Oh,
Yeah. So David, we hope to be able to organize UM24 in before February, huh?
Yes.
Before February 2022. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Yes. I was going to send you a personal message, private message to ask.
like YK is saying here, can I use completion of Spartathlon to qualify then? Cannot, right?
Can, Macy's?
Can.
Is it?
You
Okay.
can. If you
Yeah.
finish, you can.
Oh.
But I think
So
it's just a
2 years.
qualification for ballot, not an auto qualification, if I'm not
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
I
That's right. Yeah, you are.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. That's the methods how to qualify I see.
But the
Interesting.
Spartathlon page has a lot of details, so anyone who's interested can just go in for reference.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So we have Maisie finishing the race. Can you show what did you get from the race, Maisie?
Yeah,
Share
well,
to the viewers. Yeah.
Well, before I started the race, I got this from the Jeff Uy Design Company, Malaysia
Oh.
Spartathlon shirt. And then after I finished the race, I got this.
Wow.
So this is the Spartathlon logo. You see that? Oops, sorry.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And then they're quite generous. They gave us a medal with the year. And they gave us this as well, something very heavy. Let me see. It's like a bronze little thing. Oop.
Whoa. Nice.
As hard
I
as
can
their
put my
road.
mark there. Whoa, really?
Run on this, 246.
I don't have that.
What sweet memory.
Okay, what do you guys get? I mean, like Chung Hao and also David, what did you guys get during the race?
Just the medal.
didn't get
just got the
anything.
medal.
Oh, just the medal.
Yeah.
Just the medal. Oh, Chung Hao didn't get anything. You just get rain sweat
I don't know. A
It
lot
got
of
wet.
things they say the cyclone blow off already. So I don't know. So and now I get the finisher medal only. That
Oh, okay.
t-shirt, the finisher t-shirt I didn't have. So I quite jealous, Macy.
Can you fit XL? Can lend to you.
Hey, Macy, where is your certificate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's
You know what?
certificate also.
They gave us a few certificates. They were so,
Wow.
they think about this so well. In case you don't finish, you have a certificate of participation with your big number. It has
Oh.
no finisher timing. So it's just like a certificate of participation to wipe away your tears with. And then this is the finisher certificate. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then look, there's even a crew certificate,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah.
Yes, they are very
They think
generous
about
with
everything.
certificate. Actually, you get a certificate for participation, whether you finish or not.
So sweet.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, like for all of you, right? Example like from the beginning until from Mrs. Chong until to MEI SZE, right? What do you advise to the viewers or whoever the runners that they wanted to try Spartathlon? I mean, what should they do first? What are the proper way, if you might say? Anyone? Proper way to engage the Spartathlon race.
So are we starting with Xiao Kong first, our pioneer?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I created this race with Alan, UM24, and
Uh-huh.
people can still remember the logo, the fonts type of our TT Ultra has changed to Greek, with the intention that we want to let our Malaysian participants to use that as a race to train, to see how running a 250 kilometer race is like. Yeah. We did that on purpose. Yeah.
Oh.
So as a training race, for Spartathlon aspirants, those people who want to run this race. Yeah. So we welcome people to join this. Of course, we know that, from the past, I think in the past, only 3 or 4 people finish every year, the 250K. Not many actually finish that race. Yeah. UM24 is a good qualifying race. William Lesmana also qualified for that. And same as MEI SZE and Chong Hao. Yeah. So it's good that it doesn't need to be IAU certified. Yeah. So I would think that you really need to as the 3 David, Chong Hao, and MEI SZE is they are very good runners already, and yet I'm and yet they are not finishing under 30 hours. Yeah, so that other Malaysian, you should know that you need to be very good. Yeah, somehow among our standards in Malaysia, like MEI SZE, you are the top female ultra runners in Malaysia. And for other people who wants to do that, they need to benchmark themselves with you, and see how much chance they can stand to finish this race. So that only shows how it has to be the top, the top runners of our Malaysian runners who can actually have a chance to finish this race. Yeah. And I have to say I'm not one of them.
You never know, Xiao Kong.
Yeah. They always still a chance, right? There's still
Yeah.
a chance, yeah.
Jeff has a good chance too. Yeah. Yeah.
So like David, what do you suggest? Like like what you said, you guys have been running all these things. So for the future participant or whoever wants to join Spartathlon, what is your advice?
I think you can get a lot of information from the qualifiers timing to actually gauge how ready you are or not ready you are. If you're good enough to qualify for the race, especially in Malaysia, a difficult country, a hot and humid country like Malaysia, I think you have more than 50% chance of completing Spartathlon, in my opinion, because of the Malaysian weather and the qualifiers are hard. qualifiers are almost as hard as the race
Oh.
equivalent, I think. Yeah, so if you can actually do a 24 hours, 180 kilometers in 24 hours, in UM24, for example, then you are ready. Then you are more than 50% likely to be ready. I would say actually the best race to try out to qualify is, for me personally, is probably a 200-kilometer race.
Huh?
So maybe that Niti 200 or Mereka Ultra 200. For me, that is the longer the distance of the race, the more generous Spartathlon is in your pace compared to a 12-hour race where you have to do 120 kilometers. You have to do a 6 minutes per km for 12 hours. Sorry, 6 minutes
Wow.
per km for 12 hours. Yeah, that's really hard. For me, that is so much harder. I'd rather do a 200-kilometer race and do it slowly and walk.
Okay, I have another added question. What is your strategy? Mind sharing us during the race? I mean, do you like what Sukong was saying and all of you guys are saying? The first 100 kilometers you have to speed up, right? But how do you maintain the endurance because you have like another 100 something kilometers, you know? So what is your strategy to to do this? Maybe Mr. Sukong also can take some tips from you guys, you know?
For me myself, I pay attention to the time at every checkpoint. So I had a data, a printout of every checkpoint, what time they close. So I always pace myself to be within about a 34 to 36 hour finisher time, equivalent pace. So even if I'm running too fast, I will tell myself I need to slow down or I need to walk the uphills. So even if I felt very good, I will slow down. Yeah, I will intentionally slow down. So for the first 80 km or 100 km, I actually feel quite good because I don't feel like I'm pushing very hard. So I think it's very important to not run blindly. Like make sure you pay attention to your pace. How far are you from the checkpoints? And don't overdo it. Don't make a very big buffer that you don't need. You just need to be safe but not very. Don't go too fast. I think. And then after that, it's about maintenance a bit. Like you maintain, avoid your chafing, avoid blisters. Just make sure you take care of yourself, treat your body correctly, eat enough calories, drink enough. So I think always pay attention. Think of yourself as a Formula One car, and then every checkpoint is an opportunity to repair yourself. Something like that.
Okay, that's a good tips then. Okay, how about so how what do you have to say, and then what is your strategy also during the race? Because we know about the weather already, but you know.
No, at the start I don't know the weather. The weather when start is so good, pretty good. But spend all the cut-off time, spend all the CP, COT for me. So I just like running 6 minutes and 20 pace all the way until maybe 120 kilometers. So that time I only start feeling tired. Yeah, so just like maintain my pace until I cannot tahan lah. This my strategy. Because my training is more on mileage, more
I
on
see.
mileage. So, mm, for endurance, I didn't have a good pace lah. So for endurance, for me, still okay, a little bit.
I saw Jack O was asking, how's the makan there? Sedap or not? The CP.
Not really. If you compare to our endurance nature standard, certainly is no way.
Our makan is sedap lah, Sukong, because you give us lots of nice food, right, during the races.
Yeah. That's why I'm determined to give good food, in our races. It's pretty basic, I don't know about now, but for many years, even when I ran it, for many years, it has always been organized in a very old-fashioned like in the 70s, that kind of races, that kind of ways, All the volunteers, unfortunately or fortunately, they are very old people, very old style, even the website and everything,
The old still the old
But I
style.
think lately in the last few years, things have changed. So maybe it's more. I think I'm sure it's better. It's more professionally organized in many ways now. Yeah. At least you have the GPS tracking, and all that thing which we did not have before. Yeah. But the food wise is yeah. Certainly is can be better.
Okay. Other than that, we have Firdaus is asking your weekly mileage. I think this goes for every one of you lah. What's your weekly mileage like before you go for Spartathlon or even right now? Some of the viewers would like to know lah. Maybe we can start with Maisie first.
Yes, it's highly variable, but the last few weeks, and this is it's a bit funny because I actually went from almost very low to 100 plus, almost 200 per week. So
Because
it
you
was
are the
quite a big
most,
jump.
yeah, because you have the most challenge training regime because it's during COVID time, I think. So so that's
Yeah, it
like
was very short. It was very
yeah.
short. And then so from almost, there were at least 1 or 2 weeks in the preceding 2 months where it was actually zero. And then I would just go on small jogs, few km or at most 10 plus. And then from that to go up to a few weeks of 100 plus to almost 200.
Wow. And then
So that's why it was a bit variable, huh?
no, and then the same question goes to you also. What are the challenges and also basically what's your strategy during the race? Because we can see you I mean you said you're struggling but okay saja tengok during the finishing line. So what's your strategy also during the
Oh,
race?
I thought we mentioned this earlier, but maybe to someone else.
Yeah.
Basically, because it was so last minute, and so I only had those few weeks where I could properly train. I had to first reassess where what I can do with my training. So I actually took about 2 to 3 weeks to sort of see, how much I can push myself. And based on what I could achieve in those 2 to 3 weeks, I decided that my endurance is not that great for a 246. And my speed is also a bit because I could not push myself to complete 100 km. The big reason is because I did not want to have any injury in that 1 month preceding the race. If I have any injury, I would not recover in time. So whenever when I felt that I was pushing myself too much, I would back off from training. So which means I changed my training a lot, almost from a day-to-day basis as well. But based on my conclusion, from what I understood about what I could do, that's why I decided that for the middle part where I was doing the climb, I would probably need a bigger buffer for that because I haven't done much climbs at all for the past 1 year. Flat roads may be okay, slopes and rollings okay, but as we are actually doing the next 80 km or so of just gradually just climbing, I wasn't sure how I could take that, so I actually wanted a bigger buffer for that. So if I could get past the first 80 and the second 80, which is about 160 km, okay, I meet the COT. The rest of it, I think I can just push. With about 6 km to 7 km plus per hour pace. So that was actually my strategy, but this is a very last minute drawn out plan based on my few weeks. So actually my recommendation, if we were in a better position, is to actually train properly with adequate time. So this is at least a few months because you cannot just suddenly draw up think that we can finish a 2:46. Imagine David Christopher, one of our top road ultra runners, finishing at the last quarter of 34 hours. And Lee Chong Hao, who is one of your top road runners, or these endurance runners, finishing, I mean, of course, with the typhoon, with half an hour before COT. This if you extrapolate your own self with their performances and how well they were doing back in Malaysia, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think the best bet is a very good training plan and sticking to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of
Well done.
my friends in UK and Taiwan, they are doing typically 200K a week, that kind of a mileage for at least a month,
Wow.
if not 2 months.
Yeah, usually.
I
Yeah.
mean, scary stuff. I
Yeah.
tried 150K before and I got injured. Must be the
Yeah.
muscles getting old.
Wow. Okay, we have Rolando from listening from Ireland and Philippines, I think. Okay, and then we have Eddie is asking any nutrition intakes tips. I'll go with any one of you guys. I mean, do you guys have any nutrition intakes tips for the viewers? Anyone?
Okay, me first. Personally, nothing too special. Eat well, eat healthy. Of course, when we do such a high mileage runs and training so frequently, whether it's short runs or long runs, you need to make sure you have adequate intake of all food groups. So nothing too special in that area.
That's
But,
enough
sorry,
already
can I
coming
just
from
say-
a doctor.
Just make sure it's adequate, and you would know. I think a lot of us would know whether we're actually taking enough. You can judge based on your energy levels, your toilet habits, how you feel on a regular basis. But I have to make a special mention that because this year when I went, there were a lot more, I think, Southeast Asian friends. Just now you mentioned Rolando. He's actually a superstar in Philippines.
Wow.
He's a superstar runner, Rolando Espina, a 5-time finisher, I think. And he was there at our table for a while. And then we also had a Taiwanese finisher. It was also his first time, Yo Minhua. And then we also have the first Indonesian finisher, man or woman, William Lesmana from UM24. His friend Hendra wanted to come as well, but they only gave one slot too. So the few of us were there taking pictures, and all of us exclaimed, "Why is watermelon so cheap in Greece, but not at their checkpoints?" Because all of us, except for Rolando, the Superman from Philippines, all of us had parched throats. We couldn't swallow. It's so dry. I think I started having that painful throat at the second FM before the 100 km. So I always made sure to keep drinking fluids. And the fruits they served were apples, small chunks of banana, raisins, nuts. I mean, they were really nutritious, but the poor Southeast Asian runners, we were all looking for watermelon.
Very European kind of.
Yeah, but in Greece, watermelon is cheap and widely available. So maybe I'll write a little email to Spartathlon. If you could consider watermelon next time.
All right. Other than that, I mean, anyone else? Do you guys have any nutrition tips?
No, nothing special for me. I think some runners are vegan, some are keto diet, some are carnivore diet. I mean, whatever works. I think there's a lot of flexibility. So as long as you don't eat too little till you can't train. So as long as you eat enough till you can train and be rested, I think it's fine mostly. Yeah. Eat real food, I suppose. That's my only advice. Eat real food. Eat mostly plants, probably. But up to you, actually. I don't really know.
We have also one person asking here. I think Muhammad Azri is asking, in normal running, I mean, what is your common mileage? I mean, I think like daily or weekly mileage. What is the normal mileage for you guys? maybe Mr. Suko, you have any like normal mileage for you?
For many years, when I was running better in the like 2012, 13, when I was my prime years, maybe like 100K a week. Yeah, quality running, quality training, that would be enough. Hardly go over 120, 150, that kind of things. But my aim was only to finish those ultra races and all that thing. Yeah. And but I suspect if you want to do Spartathlon, that may not be enough. Yeah. If I compare with my Taiwanese friend, 200K and a week, that kind of things. Yeah. So mileage wise, to finish most ultras, about 100K, is more than enough. Yeah.
All right. So I think it applies for everybody, I guess. I mean, for everyone who, especially you guys who's entering Spartathlon, you take more mileage then, especially, right?
Yeah, I think my normal mileage is maybe 110 to 130, something like that. But then before Spartathlon, I was about 140 to 160 for a few weeks. So yeah, about 140 to 160. But yeah, it's hard to sustain. Like if you have a full-time job, you have to work and you have to sleep, and there's very few hours in a day.
Everybody have the full-time job.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
But not me. I'm retired.
Yeah, okay. So I have a question for all of you guys. I mean, during the races, right? What is your preferred shoes or shoe brands? Or we know that Mr. Suko sometimes use Y sandal or something like
Y
that.
sandal.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is the preferred training and also especially for Spartathlon races? Do you guys wear? I mean, what is the shoes that you're wearing during training and also during the Spartathlon races? We start with Mr. Siko.
If you ask me now, it will be the white sandals.
I thought so. That's why.
I
How
don't
about
know.
you,
I
David?
wear shoes now. I get blisters and it's painful. But when I was doing races like Badwater and the other longer races, I was in the minimalist. They have this New Balance and also they are minimalist shoes, running shoes. Yeah. The Minimus, I think. Yeah. But
Okay.
I think it would be good to have some cushioning towards the end because the
Oh,
pounding is just too hard on the knee and the joint. Yeah.
oh,
That's why I later on I found that these white sandals it does have kind of a cushioning which helps. Yeah? If
I
I go on,
see.
for example, just the Luna sandals, with very little cushioning, it's very hard after 100K. But I ran this 246, the so-called the Eastern across Taiwan, in 2019. I wore these white sandals the whole race,
Wow.
and it helps, Luckily that cutoff is not so tight, yeah.
Like
So
for you, David. Well,
I use
yeah,
Spartathlon. I use Ultra.
Ultra. Wow.
Ultra shoe.
So during training also you use Ultra and then it works for you lah.
Yeah, at that time I was using Ultra. I think 2 or 3 Ultra shoes. But since then I've shifted to, in the last 4 years I shifted to Saucony.
Okay. Interesting. How about Chuhao? What do you use for daily trainer and also during the race?
For 3 years ago, my race shoe is Hoka, yeah, and then my training shoe is Brooks, a very
Oh,
heavy shoe. Brooks
wow.
Beast, yeah, I think the name is Beast. 800 gram, so I use it for running every day. make my leg more heavy for training. Yeah.
Oh,
So when my race changed to Hoka, it's ringan lah. Very
I
light.
see.
Yeah. So more easy, can run more easy. Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting. Interesting. Okay, Maisie, yourself. I mean, what do you use for daily and also for the race?
So for the race, it was a Hoka Bondi 7.
Oh,
For training, it's usually a Hoka or a Bondi or Clifton as well because it's a high mileage. So I've got some other lower mileage trainers as well, also Hoka, Rincon. But usually because I tend to run quite long each session, so I just tend to go for switch between the Bondi and Clifton.
all right.
For road run.
Okay, so anyway, we are about to ask a question for the special giveaway. So maybe we should ask a question for the viewers then. Can Maisie do the honors asking a question, because we're going to give away a free giveaway of Pelari the Nice colored shirt. Okay, colored shirt for Pelari the Nice. So Maisie, can you ask a question for the viewers?
Sure. I think we have decided to make it quite an easy question to answer. So, who is the fastest finisher of the Spartathlon race?
Okay, I'll type it in so that uh, easier for everyone. Who is the fastest? Do you have answer already?
Wrong.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we have a few answers right now. So I think it's too easy. Lah. See, we got
So,
we
we've got
got
the correct
answer.
answer. It has to be the fastest guy or girl who answered it. Ismail?
Yeah. Yes. So I think maybe you can pick which one is the fastest.
Well, I'm getting the fastest as Reynaldo Ando Jumanis. Is that right?
Yes,
With the
correct.
correct answer, it is Yanis Kouros, the original Greek ultra runner.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ronaldo. So please DM us later, and we will get your details, and you have won yourself a lucky Pelari Denai colored shirt. Yay! Congratulations. Okay. So anyway, I think we are almost like an hour and a half already. So before we end the session, I'm opening the session to any one of you guys, to the viewers. If you guys have any questions, any last questions from our panelists, and I would like to say thank you very much for the panelists for tonight, because it's a very inspiring to know about these races, and it's good to have all of you here. I mean, the legends, as what everybody is saying. Okay, I'll give the stage to you anyway. I mean, can you, I mean, just like give a word of or two to the viewers about the race itself, and maybe any inspiring last words for the viewers. I'll start off with Mr. Sikom.
Okay. I believe everyone is can't wait for the races to start again. Yeah. So we look forward to see a lot of you next year. I don't think we can make it this year, but hopefully, with our tour of Peninsula, we can get people excited, seeing us running on the road. Yeah. But for those people who would like to do Spartathlon, we have the races for you next year. Yeah. So keep up the training, and I think you will see more finisher and participant in Spartathlon in futures.
Okay. Oh, in the meantime, we also have a question. How can you all can run in 36 hours without sleeping? I think we miss out these questions also. So any one of you can answer before we end.
David,
No.
you teach me the strategy.
What's the strategy
It
then?
works. It works.
No, you just force
Caffeine.
yourself. Just force yourself. And I took some caffeine tablets. You can buy the caffeine tablets. So one tablet is about 2 coffees, equivalent to 2 coffee.
Wow.
It's not that hard. It's actually it's only one night. So you just have to survive one night, and then you are okay. So it's not actually super hard. And especially since you are going quite fast, so you're quite excited. So it's not a very big problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Sleep well before the race. Huh?
Yes, agree.
Get a good sleep before the race.
So David, any last words for the viewers?
My last words. Anybody here now, or anybody knows anybody who has an interest in the race, tell them about it. It's very memorable. It's still the most memorable race in my life. Wonderful experience. There's definitely a running culture around that race, among the villagers there, among the people there, among the non-runners there. Like everybody knows about the race. It's so historical and special for them, and they take it so seriously also. So once you're there, everything is taken care of. It's not a complicated in terms of logistics and getting around there. So and it can be, don't expect to get into the race so quickly within a year. It's only gonna get harder to get in with more participants, and it's just difficult to get in. So maybe a long-term plan, 3 years, 5 years. People take their time and to get themselves ready for it. Yeah, but definitely you'll never regret doing it for sure. Yeah, that's
All
all.
right. Okay. How about you, Chong Hao?
Hello, hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
So any last words for the viewers and for those who would like to join Spartathlon maybe?
Hey. Betul.
Any tips? Anything that you want to say to them? Please join. Be like me.
No. be like Sifu Xiao Kong and David Christopher and also Maisie. In English, too hard for me.
Okay. Maybe you can speak in Chinese also. No problem. Maisie can translate. Here, we also have a question here. Like any recognition from the Malaysian government? I don't know how to answer that actually.
We have a Datuk team here, right?
Yeah, that's why if we have recognition, I think David will have Datuk already. Mr. Sikong, we have a lot of Datuk also lah. Tan Sri, I think already.
You wish.
Okay. Last but not least, our finisher of the year and the only female finisher, Maisie. Any last words and how do you feel and everything, especially finishing the race?
Yeah, well, if there's any Malaysian who's interested in joining Spartathlon, they should really go for it. It's a very well organized race. As a runner, you feel taken care of. You're very reassured, especially running during the pandemic. So you just only focus on running. You don't have to worry about anything else. And the caliber of runners that you see at an event like Spartathlon is actually very high. I mean, I was standing at the flag off and everyone around me had such well-defined, bulky muscles, you know. I mean, and even like the older participants, they are so fit and healthy, almost Viking-like. I just thought, where am I? What am I doing here? It's a very eye-opening experience. So actually, if there's a chance to go for this, you should really try to pursue it. Well, you have to put yourself to challenge for that chance against David Christopher. So, so you better train hard for this.
All right. So even we have Jeff Uy is watching. He's saying congratulations to all finisher. Thank you for listening, Jeff.
Thank you for the shirt, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also want the shirt lah. So again, I would like to say really thank you for everyone who's watching tonight, especially, and hopefully this session will help you guys, and you guys can watch it rerun at our YouTube channel Pelari. So for those who would like to be inspired from our panelists tonight, so be sure to keep on watching Pelari and you can watch the reruns and you can understand more about the Spartathlon race. And again, I'm so honored today that I be able to chat with all these legends and Sifu, okay? Because this race is something that's very unique, and I think it's much more closer to your heart, I think. All right. So thank you so much for everybody who's joining also for tonight, and we hope to see you guys in the trail soon. And thank you, panelists. Good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ismail.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Thank you.
good night, everyone. We can leave, right? Are we allowed to leave? Already,
No,
right? I think Ismail. So we are back here